afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting, another riveting Propagandacast. Me, host Imperial Dane, Master Propaganda, Hero Select Defender of the Fatherland. Off here to 2 versus 2 on Elst Outskirts. The setting is 1944, somewhere around the Caucasus. The Red Army advances under the command of Darthsniper and Shodan, fighting out here for the 8th Mechanized Corps in the south. We got here, actually I got it the other way around, in the south there. In the north it's the Germans with Dirtydog and StonedCoala. Jesus, bit of an awkward mistake to make, but we all make those. It's all about how we handle the mistakes afterwards that sort of truly is what determines the worth of a man. So anyways, Wehrmacht here finding out for the, well, I don't know, let's just say 254th Infantry Division, with Storm Doctrine, Assault Support, Jaeger Armour, Spearhead Jaeger Infantry and Festung Armour versus Guard Motor, Shock Rifle, Soviet Shock Army, Shock Motor, Shock Rifle again, and Soda Reserve Army. An interesting collection there with double heavy mortar bullets for Sniper, T-45, so he's very likely angling out for Guard Motor, possibly Shock Army, Shodan just all infantry, Dirtydog with mortar machine guns, and, well, that's actually it. And StonedCoala with infantry, Panzerfaust and Sturmgeschütz penetration bulletins. Double Grenadiers for StonedCoala, Dirtydog with a Grenadier mortar, since again double mortar bulletins, he's also going to aim for that. Darthsniper here with the Contra's maximum support, obviously we got Contras there for Shodan. But he's definitely going to focus on that since they're getting both accuracy bulletins and experience gain bulletins. Going to probably go for more than one to sort of really get the most out. They could still get away with just one. Got the MD42 dealing here as they push towards the centre. He's probably going to aim for the car point first. Lock down the area here with the machine gun. That may put some pressure on the Russians early on. In the east we got Dirtydog. They're moving up as Shodan's moving up as well. He's going to move for the fuel point that we can see there. Dirtydog's already expecting Russian push. The manufacturer spotted some movement there and set up the machine gun in anticipation of a Russian advance there. Nice work there. In the west we've got Pioneers as a contract. Yep, close to Pioneers. Theoretically have a chance with MP40s depending a bit on RNG. It's going to be a bit closer for them. A bit close in this case though. Darthsniper decides it's not worth the risk. Don't worry, comrades. Retreat. I'll get you killed in a much better place. You what? Don't worry. Consequence the MD42 forced back. Pioneers are going in as well. And the Maxim setting up. P turning the tables there on StonedCoala. Clearly not anticipating that Russians would use this from machine gun, which is more or less what this house wants, you know, changed on the map, has been rendered into. It's a machine gun house and it's infantry. Well, theoretically we got a good light machine gun pull off, say Obersoldat and maybe Grenadiers with an MD42, but basic infantry without any upgrades is going to be absolutely rubbish in this house. We got a nice flank here though. Shodan basically deciding to back up his team here in the west. Really good play there, takes advantage of Dirtydog folks on the eastern side here and strikes some good teamwork there by Shodan to back up his teammate. Very nice teamwork. 2 thumbs up. Almost got the fuel point here, holding up. People, they have mortars up for Shodan as well. Heavy conscript build, using mortars and all that to back it up. Very good play there. Up here pushing for the core point clutch of the German base. We got Sniper out here for StonedCoala. As for Dirtydog, we got double grenadiers, the MD42 and the mortar. The Granatenwerfer. Grenadiers versus engineers. We got flamethrowers on the way there for Shodan, continuing his assault elements there. And we got Darthsniper, unsurprisingly, with Guard Motor. I mean, it really was in the cards to an extent. He has gone for a regular mortar first, so probably just one mortar and a heavy mortar, but even that's going to be double mortars, which does mean Darthsniper will be having ample artillery support to, you know, blast down the fascists. But there you go again. Good, decisive strike there by Shodan, cutting off the resource in east and west, or north-south, because they haven't connected here. Noting though that Dirtydog has laid down the foundations for machine gun bunker, planning ahead here. Nice work. That's going to make it harder for the Russians to harass. That's going to mean they have to put up some larger stuff. They have tanks to deal with it, which actually means it's going to be reasonably safe there for some time. So nice play there with Dirtydog. Machine gun bunkers I feel like tend to get overlooked by a lot of Wehrmacht players. Hell, I overlooked them. So I mean, in the right position, the machine gun bunker can actually be really effective. And that's sort of one of those spots where machine gun bunker can be really effective. As long as it remembers to upgrade it, of course. I mean, otherwise it's just a bunker. It's a pile of dirt with some, you know, water on top. And there you go. MD42 there being added. Grenadiers versus conscripts moving up slowly. Pits over there drop step. But there you go. More men are pushing forwards. Sniper there providing covering fire for the Grenadiers. But the Grenadiers will find that's not going to be enough here to turn the tide. MD42 already over the maximum. He's going to need some mortar to do for that. We got a fuel cache up here. Dirtydog spending a lot of resources on more static elements. Can be useful, but needs to be careful doesn't spend too much there. In particular, StonedCoala is running into a bit of an issue here in the west. That's the 354th Infantry Division. It's not quite having its way. We got tech over there though for StonedCoala and for Dirtydog. In the south, the 8th Mechanized Corps there is moving up with medics and other fun bits. And we also got a fuel cache here from Darthsniper. So to that degree, there is some merit thinking here on the Axis and Allied lines. Fuel cache up here though. Need to capture the cut-off point for the western fuel. Machine gun bank corps gonna burn them some time though with the flank now exposed. Theoretically, Shodan come up with demo charges. And there we go, we got shock rifles. The Russians here within the first roughly 5-6 minutes have gone for Doctrine, indicating they've got clear strategic ideas. So Darthsniper here with the guardsmen, the T-35, Shodan with possibly shock troopers, incendiary rounds, or incendiary artillery, flamethrower tanks, and certainly the IS-2. Not so often we get to see shock rifles, so nice to see Shodan there breaking into new territory in a sense. Constantly about, we got mortar fire raining down. Trying to clear out the house in case the Russians were hiding in there. Go Molotov on the bunker. Not one Molotov is not going to do it, but still it's going to put some pressure there on Dirtydogs to make sort of move up some troops there to deal with it. Molotov being pushed back there. None of these pioneers is fine for the car point. Got the aim before moving up. In the west, pushing for the fuel there. Shodan can go for shock troopers. He will have to see if he decides to go for these heavily armoured troops and heavily armed for that matter. Like to make a nice company up for StonedCoala first. But obviously, if it goes for 2-2, could be good. Flamethrower could be efficient, and Panzer grenadiers will also, I think, work out nicely. We got their Shodan taking out. Tank Cavalry Battalion Command going up. They can't quite push for the T-70 yet. They have been deprived of fuel, even though they harassed the Germans, so that is certainly something there in favour of the Germans. They have managed, I think, to some degree, delay a T-70, but it's going to be actually pretty big for them. At the same time, in the west, StonedCoala pulls up an effective defence this time around, drawing in Darthsniper's forces before slapping them away with a great fist of Deutschland. Conscript moving up here. Conscripts just going in there hard. You can do this, Petrov. Just throw the Molotov this time and don't drop it on your feet. Thank the heavens, that was a training Molotov. How does a training Molotov look like? It's not on fire. Don't drop them though. They're expensive. For us anyways. StonedCoala there with the Panzer Grenadier. Grenadier setting out here, and we got the 2-2 for Dirtydog. Maxim setting up here, mortar as well here for Darthsniper. Bit of resource floating, but he's also taking out there. But again, now decides to maybe push for light vehicles right away. So we'll see what happens next. Shodan there with lots of conscripts, nothing further, no support weapons, no shock troopers, nothing. So far, the Germans look to be in control there of the resources very much squarely. 2 fuel points plus a fuel cache does mean they're getting a lot more fuel than rations. 33 per minute versus 22, so of course the Russians are getting some. In this case, double fuel caches will help them there. Probably actually a really good strategic decision there. By the way, sharing the burden on fuel cache is really good, but overall just killing some more since the Germans are keeping an iron grip on the fuel points. Certainly also what the Germans want to do, since usually the Allies can catch up to them, and fuel-wise they tend to get cramped pretty hard. So basically going there for hard fuel control there, even with the fuel cache on top there, does mean they can push out armour fast and of course play more aggressively. So overall good play there, so you'll have to see if they can keep up the momentum as the Allies, or if they're going to get, you know, crushed long term if the fight goes on too long. Got a sniper pulling down a small stream to avoid being hunted down. Again, note the teamwork here between the Allies, but we can see there though that Dirtydog is taking advantage of the aggressive assault in StonedCoala to actually flying up on the Allied lines. In fact, he looks to be taking out a fuel cache down south of the 2-2. Good play. Good play. So even if StonedCoala's being forced away, there's Dirtydog is getting some hits that probably will be hurting the Allies a bit. Reasonably well done. Pack 40 out there. Panzer Grenadier is also having some work there. We got packs as well there for Dirtydog. StonedCoala's Panzer Grenadier here fighting off the Russian spun grenade. Didn't quite go off as well timed as it could have. Still more pressure, and we could see the second fuel catch-up taken out here by the 2-2 there from Dirtydog. Oh, that's going to be a bit of a blow there to the Russians. Obviously, that's going to be 500 manpower that goes down. In particular, Shodan's fuel cache there is going to hurt more because it hasn't been there for long. Compared to Darthsniper has been for a bit, but I don't think it has yet turned itself in. Plus, of course, it's just a loss of 6 extra fuel per minute, so that is a sizable strategic win here by Dirtydog, basically hurting the Russian fuel supplies sizably. Heavy mortar out here, wait for Darthsniper. T-70 almost down there. We got a T-70 as well here for Darthsnipers. Of course, they're going to be striking back now at the Germans. They're going to try and throw off the game that way. And the Germans, of course, do have Pack 40s, but depending on the situation, that's going to be enough. Telemines have been laid down here a bit as well, I believe. So let's see if they can catch up some of them. And then before doing flank, then Shodan is just keeping up the aggression and the pressure, the tempo. Of course, not quite going as easily as he wants to all the time. So we'll see what happens next here. Will the Germans take up fast? So far, no sign of that. Comes standing about here. Mines going off, killing some grenadiers there. Ludwig and Reinhard stumbles over dead in the south here. Engineers bring up the ammunition point there. Rations only seized one fuel point there now away from the fascists. From the Hitlerite scum. Goes again blasted by the T-70, being forced away ever so slowly. Sniper there, of course, also setting back a bit. And they're certainly struggling a bit here with the training stopping the T-70 swarm there unleashed by Darthsniper and Shodan. Another fuel cache here. Darthsniper is willing to commit to more, partly because he knows it's important they keep up with the Germans in fuel. It is an important race here, the fuel race, and again, mostly important for the Germans in the sense, again, if they can just keep it, they have a much better chance of winning, whereas if they fall behind, it tends to get a lot less impressive for the Germans. So in this regard, of course, for the Russians, just nullifying that fuel advantage is going to be very important for them in that sense as well. So I believe we got Dirtydog there taking up first, very good. But we also got take up there for StonedCoala, so they're more or less synchronous there. Panzers they need to fall back though. We're finding for the Eastern victory point here. Knowing that while the Germans were able to control the fuel points, victory point wise, they have not been doing too well of a job there at all. In fact, I don't even think they've seized a victory point there, so probably something they should be looking into and something they need to be very mindful of. Take up almost done there. Dirtydog is done. I mean, if they can rush out some tanks now, that could certainly put the Russians on the back foot once more. That the field gun is going to help them notably there. Rifle made off against the field gun, completely misses the mark as the field gun was already moving. 2-2 bites the dust. Minor loss there for Dirtydog. But what's important now is again getting up those armour cores as fast as possible and pushing out those panzers as fast as possible. Hopefully getting a few shots in the southern T-70, northern T-70 putting up pressure there on the fascists in the north. Mortar there getting hammered by the Russian mortars. Heavy artillery fire there unleashed. Rifle grenade here on the certain mortar, the smaller one. If you can steal it, that would be helpful there, but in this case doesn't happen. That would have been nice there for Dirtydog and StonedCoala if they could have taken one of the mortars away from them. Flanking down the southern fuel point here. StonedCoala has once more laid claim to it in the name of the 354th Infantry to be short. Maneuvers the conscripts, sniper backing up north. We've got the Russians, they're pushing for the CoH point. Outmaneuvering here is Shodan's, well not Shodan's, but Dirtydog's forces. Noting neither German players really to commit to a Doctrine machine gun bunker number 2 up to get up the CoH point. Nice idea there, gasping away there for Darthsniper, also good idea there. Shodan comparatively has yet to use anything with his Doctrine, which is less grand. There we go, machine gun bunker up, one more field is away for him, Panzer on the way for Dirtydog. As for StonedCoala, yeah, anything there, I mean at this stage you could maybe just consider rushing out a Sturmpanzer 4 or a Panther. All the way pushing out a big tank there could possibly give them a bit of further edge there in that sense. North here, and these was the T-70. And here we go, flanking on the machine gun bunker, very good. This time engineers ready to blow it apart. So that's going to unhinge there, Dirtydog's northern anchor point there to defend the fuel point and force them to commit more troops or build another machine gun bunker. Panzer 4 done. StonedCoala getting the tech up as well, knowing he's floating a lot on manpower. He could spend some more on caches, troops, support weapons, bunkers. Lots of options there. There's also down here, I think, being a bit too passive, more pressure on the Russians here, so his teammate doesn't risk getting crushed. Finally got a doctrinal choice into these Jaeger infantry. Rather late choice here for Jaeger infantry, honestly. I mean, 14 minutes. Usually want it out fast and get some T-43s out, and the Jaeger command squad out fast as well. So that feels a bit like a poor timing there for StonedCoala, in my opinion. It's like deciding on breakfast at dinner time. It's like, you know, Maybe just have a burger instead, mate. It's a bit like for pancakes. Well, obviously there's always time for pancakes, but you get the idea. I mean, he probably should be choosing another Doctrine at that stage. That's my personal opinion. Really, I feel like Jaeger in for sort of the Doctrine that performs best when you go for it immediately, so you sort of get more of it going, the bonuses and the advantages. The ambush camouflage up soon as well, you know, all of that, and he's just, not great, not great. I mean, obviously it has to chill as a late game as well. He's not going to, I think, get the full usage out of it, not the full synergies and advantages from it, so it feels weak. It feels weak. Again, it's like, you know, you can go for pancakes, but maybe you should go for something a bit more, you know, different around dinner time, you know, lunch, dinner time, whatever. Burger, pizza, maybe a nice steak. I don't know, but, you know, you hopefully get the idea. Constantly moving about here, though, for Darthsniper. Dirtydog remaining as on without a doctrinal choice here. What he could go for could be Jaeger armor, assault support, Storm Doctrine, all good doctrines. At this stage, though, part of me might consider suggesting assault support. The also would be helpful. Over blitzes, air support would be great. And of course, there's the option there for a Tiger tank late game. Got a mortar team there. Small victory there for the German army. Particularly, they actually nab it away. T-70 knocked out. Definitely win there for Deutschland and the 454th Infantry Division, being supported here by Panzer elements. Gonna do something at the country. There go wiped out. It's another win there for the fatherland. Victory points wise though. They're really, you know, bleeding out here. They're not really finding out for the victory points. That's something you can come out of. Big push here though for StonedCoala. Loses the Panther to the double field guns. Probably should try a bit faster to get around the corner here. This is also where it could have been helpful. Maybe see. Oh, there we go. We got Storm Doctrine. I mean, it can be useful. We had it sooner. Maybe some smoke bombs. I could have saved the Panzer IV there, but otherwise, I don't know. I don't know. He's going for Stooge though, which is definitely a nice choice. You could also go for the Howitzer, but I kind of think I would have preferred assault support. Haymortar lying about there, if the Germans could grab that one, that would be a bit embarrassing for the Russians, plus a bit uncomfortable since the Haymortar in German service could be quite handy. Stug almost done. StonedCoala with this Panzer IV there on the way. Very good, very good. Pack white. Oh, a really bad spot for that as well. But there you go. Sturmgeschütz 3 Ausführung G. Second Panzer IV almost done for StonedCoala. Grenadiers, Panzer Grenadiers, all that setting out here. Resource being cut off continually. Shodan's got the mechanized armor company. We go for the T-3476. You could also go for the KV-8. Well, of course, you could just decide, oh, alright, now I've got the tech, now I'm going to go for the IS-2. I'm just pushing out for an advantage. But, I mean, he could go for it. Machine gun lifters on devices in the west. Most of the hammering away. We got the Haymortar recruit as well there by Darthsniper. Very good, very good. Flares going off. Troops being suppressed to the max back in the house there. And up here we got Dirtydog leading a small and slow advance here. Pack also wiped out there. StonedCoala's Panzer on the west, back in the Russian bases. We got the Fugans still waiting up for some stuff. Then we got Shodan here finally going for some shock troopers. He's finally using the Doctrine. Took him bloody long enough. Ambush camouflage out of the machine guns. That's very nice to see there. We'll have to see if the other chat goes for something as well. So far, much on that, but there you go. Panzers are backing up by the Panzer IV. Gibraltar's loading on. It's not the way he's throwing. It's nice throw there. He was basically expecting him to retreat without paying attention to exactly land it, so he would run into the bung grenade, increasing the chance of getting a wipe. That was a nice throw there by StonedCoala. That was a very nice throw. It's a bit tricky to pull that off, but if done correctly, and again your opponent just retreats without necessarily thinking entirely through, you can do some serious damage. In this case, he just stood still. He probably wouldn't have suffered as badly. He wouldn't have certainly had a wipe there, but in this case, he retreated right into it, and he paid the... Well, his squad paid the ultimate price. He obviously did not die. Once Stalin gets his hands on him, of course, that's another matter. As he loses the match. Panzer moving up, again, just backing up. Small push there. And in this case, easily pushed back there, lacking, I think, sufficient weight to really break through. Also, Shodan backing up, so now we got 3 Shodan attack guns there. Well, 1 German and 2 Soviet. Nice motion there to cover up against the machine gun, also just covers up whatever otherwise the Germans might be having about their line to isolate the German infantry here, making it easy to deal with. Nice throw there by Shodan then. Overall, very solid throw. Nothing further than the German arsenals. We got pantloons out there as well for Dirtydog. Make sure no miss those. Not bad at all. You should consider the machine gun on the Stug though. It helps a ton versus infantry. I can strongly recommend it. Basically consider it like an LMG 42, but for the Stug, except it's also only half price and, you know, it's stuck on a Stug, so, you know, it can be quite useful. There you go. Dogfield's on the Stug, he needs to fall back here. Ah, he's not realising it. He's not realising it. Scheiße. And it goes down. Quite a blow there to Dirtydog. A waste of a good skirmishes, plus the mortar going down there as well. Showing some mistakes there creeping into the German plane, particularly Dirtydog is suffering under it. He has taken some nasty hits on the hit there. Hits on the hit there, it seems. Got all the way around there in my head. Got the machine gun though. Nice push there. Nice push. T-Fed on the way there for Darthsniper. More Guardsmen on the way that's replaced the ones lost. Shock troopers have suffered a bit here. They are quickly reinforcing. He could have easily merged them like Kant if he wanted to. It looks like he's willing to pay the full price of reinforcements. More fuel cache up for the Allies. In this case, a very far away point, but interesting also in the sense that most cases are not going to see much action. It's not necessarily bad, but it does risk being a bit easily cut off. Also, it's going to be hard to defend. I think this one, in that sense, would have been much better served, but that's just me. Either more fuel cache is definitely not a bad idea for the Russians. In particular, he's going to try and push the Allies to anyways. Just getting that fuel cache up to just get a slightly bigger push is a good idea. And I mean, it helps out his team as well. But there you go, T-45 out. The Germans are a bit short there in armour. He's going for another Panther 4, and he's going to need Stugs to stop that. It's either that or a Panther, and I don't think any of them has taken up for Tier 4. Indeed, they have not. So they're going to be a bit vulnerable here to the T-45. It's going to roll through the lines. Not a good development there for the German army, to say the least. Up here, MG42 there on watch. Partially camouflaged, except for Helmut. Helmut, your camouflage isn't working. Ah, there we go. You need to remember to pull up the hood. Minesweeper's up there. IS-2 available here for Shodan. Pulling up the heavy armour there for the glorious motherland. That's something going to be an issue for the Germans, who are a bit short on anti-tank guns. I mean, they got one pack each and a Panther 4, but unless they can concentrate them, it's going to be a bit of a tricky bit here versus the IS-2, which in-game has a lot of armour. In fact, has the same armour as the King Tiger. Adding the Pinel Mountain Hay machine gun. Pack 4 lands on IS-8 there on the T-45. Another hit in. Mine goes off. Almost got it. If you can shoot, they might be able to sort of slow down the Russian steamroller there. In the north, though, Shodan's bringing up the IS-2 there. And currently, Dirtydog's lines are not quite suited for dealing with that. The Pack 40, though, is bringing up. There's still one Pack 40. Looks like Darthsniper's T-45 escapes here the wrath of the Wehrmacht. Lucky sniper. Unfortunate for StonedCoala, wasn't able to finish off. At least get rid of the T-70 there, which is going to be helpful there for the Germans. Though, of course, there still remains the issue of the IS-2. Wiping, you're going to do the squat there and dodging, so shots by the dog. Few guns backing up as well there. Panther, he's going to continue headwards there instead of trying to back forwards. Front, he's just going to take more hits there from the double field guns. Machine gun being with the country, got the IS-2 moving in here. Still getting some nice kills there with the ambushed machine gun. They're going to need some stronger shots to stall that IS to stop it. You got more T-45s out there for Darthsniper. The armoured snowball there is starting to roll. That's going to be really bad news for the Germans. Again, are currently, I would say, under-equipped. We got Panther Shakes out. That can be helpful, but it's not going to be necessarily super helpful. In some cases, there you go. Field gun barrage here. There's the MG42 trying to silence it. Not bad. IS-2 flanking it behind it. It's going to force retreat here. No! Oh, there you go. Dirtydog retreats. I mean, this is the sort of situation, if we sort of planned out the Doctrine better, he may have had a half track out to lay down some Regal mines, in which case if the IS-2 had hit a Regal mine, that would have been a very good situation with the Germans, since an IS-2 that can't move is a very easy target to deal with, even with a single Pak 40. So, again, I feel like Dirtydog could have planned that a bit better, and possibly, again, would have served better with, you know, assault support and over blitz, and, you know, maybe just stalling for a Tiger. But now, he needs Stoogs. He's going to need a lot of Stoogs. Shodan moving ahead, he aggressively noting again the Germans have rather fit to get any of the victory points, and again, initially you can get away with it. At some point, you're going to have to focus on the victory points just a bit, and sadly, the Germans just haven't seemed to be very much on board with that. More Panzer IVs out for both German players? That seems a bit hazardous and a bit ill-advised. I mean, if they can pull it off to the degree, sure, but you really want some Stoogs or Panther, something with some better armor penetration and a rate of, you know, DPS in that sense, either through durability, just, you know, the high rate of fire. The Stoogs just deal with the T-35s and the Panther 4s. It's just sort of in between where they can't really sort of challenge this very good, because the T-35 is just a straight on more health, certainly with the IS-2, but which also has a lot more armor, with the Panther 4's guns aren't quite effective, as the Stoogs have much better penetration plus range, meaning they can keep themselves safer, and the Panther of course also has that, but also just, you know, bit more of everything else. So there you go, more Panther Force here for the Germans. 75 points left for the Germans. Panther 1 dying to repairs. He's got plenty of fuel for another Stug, but at this rate he might just end up with another Panther 4. Which of course would land him 3 Panther 4s made with a Pak 40s. In fact, he's got double of those now in the Panther 6. He could take out some of that ration armor. It's going to come down to some pretty solid manoeuvring in these closer quarters. Got the IS-2 moving up here, going to lose, lost half the unit. Panther going to lose, and Panther Jäger's moving up here for the centre, going to attack those mortars. Probably move to there, go T-5 to rescue. Panther is out in the open, each attack. Panther Jäger's joining in with the rockets. Remaining German anti-tank defenders are gone, and Panthers are about to get wiped out by the double T-45s, laying down some heavy fire. The power of the T-45 snowball is not something to be, you know, taken lightly. Got the Panther 4 moving in fact more Panther 4s moving up. Lots of Panther 4s moving up, going to use the Panther 5s, and sadly Panther 5's the wrong one. Panther 4's pulling back as well. We got the Pak 40 moving, at least one of them, but it's exposed. Pretty risky push here by the Germans, pretty risky push. The Panther 4 they're riding for StonedCoala. Things are getting very explosive. That's too far raining down. He's taking out one of the mortar crews, the hay mortar that still stands. Panther 4 there with a damaged engine. Pak 40 wiped out. This is turning into a bit of a, well, pile up for StonedCoala. About to lose one of the Panther 4s. Pak 4's there being cleared out as well. Complete mess here. Not supporting infantry. 8 command squad is far removed. He's going up for deeper flank. Panther is of course not there. Grenadier is not there either. Sniper is too far removed to back up as well there. Panther 4's the man to dodge and get away there. Pretty horrid engagement there for the Germans. I mean, they got some damage in there, but they suffered quite much for it, and I don't really feel like they gained enough to really be worth it. That was a really bad development there for Dirtydog and StonedCoala. Theoretically, they can pop up a Stuka bombing strike at the right time. They might be able to do some damage there, but it's going to require some good timing there. Go IS-2 as the Panther 4. That's a very lopsided engagement. The Panther 4 is going to have to get out of there fast. 64 versus 188. Back here, troops are reinforcing, and that's a Panther 4 down. Still no Sturmgeschütz you see additionally for the Germans. More Pak 40s out for Dirtydog, who's now in the end is super short in infantry, having lost his Panzer Grenadier. And his Doctrine just isn't seeing a lot of use, to be honest. Again, I rather get the impression he wanted something else. Well, he should have wanted something else. MD4 to a lot of trouble. We got the IS-2 moving in. Then again, they reel themselves and become easy pickings for the IS-2. Unfortunate there, unfortunate. He forgot to hold fire there. I guess he wasn't expecting the IS-2 to just come at them. 54 points left for the Germans. Drastic measures I think are required to pull through here. Dirtydog perhaps his pioneers shortly after StonedCoala paying his Panther 4s, because it's going to require some sort of Really solid panzer push now. I think the chance here versus the Red Army. Incendiary barrage in here from Shodan, who so far used 3 abilities of his Doctrine. And then you got North here. Dirtydog just hasn't really done much with except the single thing use of ambush training. There's been no Regal mines, no smoke bombs, no artillery, and no stupid strikes. So that could, I think, be done a bit better. Panther Force Military coming fly here for the Gunneries. We've got the T-34 striking for the motherland. Comrade Stalin and Darthsniper going for the Katyusha now. Shodan really hasn't done much with this mechanized armor company. A bit of a disappointment. Panther Force up to half health. Came down to 50. We got the Panther Force being held up there by Dirtydog to back out. But they're down to 36 here versus the Russians 488. The Germans really need to pull off something amazing here. We got Dirtydog with more Panther Force. Still no stronger shots again. Got one T-45 here, the sheer volume Panther Force helps out. He might be able to get the other one, but the victory point still needs to be seized as well here. But there you go. Might be able to get both T-45s here. That would be a huge relief for the Germans who can then pull out the Panther Force, in which case Dirtydog should pop the smoke bombs. He didn't. Going for the Stuka bombing strike, which of course can be useful. I think some smoke bombs at least for one of the Panther Force would have been great. I try to take out the field guns too slow there, too slow. Wasted a good bombing strike. And of course didn't save the tanks either. More guards went out for the Darthsniper, who certainly suffered the brunt here with the T-35s and some other units getting wiped out. But for now, StonedCoala won't be able to contribute much to the fight there. And Dirtydog is looking incredibly weak. He's down just one Gunnery, one Pioneer, and MD-42 and his 2 Panther Force. He is in dire need of something more. He wants a chance to win this. Gunnery is wiped out. That's his chances just further dipped. Constantly being taken out by the Panther Force. Back here, troops in reinforcing. I2 was the Panther 4. We got 24 points left here for the Germans. Panther 4 is the IS-2. We got the MD-42 with the shock troopers. Incendiary artillery called in to deal with that. Nice work. Except he misses. Though it would have helped if that used the ambush camouflage. I think they made it much harder just called it in like that. But that's just me. Russian assault continues here for the scattered German lines on the 354th Infantry Division. Being pummeled apart here by Darthsniper and Shodan. I2 with 17 kills. Veterans he won. 9 points left, 7 points left. Need to get that machine gun on the victory point here. 5 points left. Well, I think it's GG here. I think it's GG. Double shoots now for StonedCoala. Way too late for that. Way too late. And there we go. GG. Game over. Lost here for the German army. While they had some good initial moves, I feel like they just failed to capitalize on it properly. Maybe one of them could have gone for tier 4, rushed out Sturmpanzer Panther. That was definitely, I think, something there. And there are definitely also some issues with the force composition as things went on. And finally, I also feel like they just shouldn't commit to that many Panzer Force versus the enemy armor that really would have been for either the Stuks or even Panthers. I mean, really, I feel like Panther Force here just didn't do them enough. They also at times got the call tops and I think silly meat grinder actions which didn't help out. And additionally, their doctoral choices I felt like were pretty weak and didn't assist them much on. The Russian, I think, overall made some pretty good plays while they struggled in the early game. They were able to turn around and punish the Germans. So well played there by Darthsniper and Shodan. And, well, better luck next time, Dirtydog and StonedCoala. So I hope you enjoyed this match. I hope you learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment on it, and share with your friends. This has been Pro Links, and cheers. Thank you for watching. You're all a wonderful audience. I hope to see you tomorrow again for a nice episode. Bye.